one dream, not variations on a dream, the same dream, night after night, over and over.
You're saying an entire squad of U.S. Army soldiers was hypnotized, and that somehow, thanks to your dream, you're the only one who knows the truth?
Sergeant Shaw, you ever dream about Kuwait?
He's, not a well man.
This isn't an election. This is a regime change in our own country. I am the enemy. Major Marco.
Denzel Washington and Meryl Streep star in the network premiere of The Manchurian Candidate, Saturday 9:30 on 4.
Greetings and salutation. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time we call is the Master Blaster Jamming. Word is bond, continuous. Concerning John Allen Muhammad and the Manchurian Stigma, the Underground News Network, UNN13.com reports. Concerning John Allen Muhammad and the Manchurian Stigma, in our self-published book, which now, during the trial, we were working on in part 2 of the volume, points out clearly that John Allen Muhammad is not a government mind control subject. We feel that this notion has been placed in the minds of the masses by agents who have an agenda to discredit intellectual efforts of African Americans. Even the most biased races can attest to the fact that the Beltway snipers performed a feat that they felt could only be carried out by a member of the so-called master race, i.e. Anglo-Saxon. And it is a fact that the Negro race has been trained to hate itself and to believe anything that the Anglo-Saxon puppet masters placed before them as truth. And if he did not authorize it, it is not accepted by them. So the white races would rather say that John Allen Muhammad is a mind control puppet rather than accept the fact that John Allen Muhammad is indeed a mastermind who committed an act of terrorism and deliberately led authorities to him like a duck in a noose. This is the signature of the terrorist. They claim their feats. Therefore, Muhammad led the searchers to himself. Moose was important because he was once a rebellious black man, then went to the extreme of marrying a white woman, even sleeping with several cats in his bed. He was not John Muhammad's puppet master, as the conspiracy theorist says. Moose was drawn in by divine design to be taught a lesson. If we study Muhammad's opening statement of the infamous trial of the century, the world will know the mind of the great man John Allen Muhammad. You see, UNN 13 or the Underground News Network are not saying Muhammad did not commit this crime, nor are we saying he should not be held accountable we're not saying that he shouldn't be held accountable. What we are saying is that the people who are judging him are not fit. And we say also that the death sentence is not warranted. Our purpose for covering the trial comes from our research, which can be found in our pamphlet, Word is Bond. It was to combat the biased coverage. And we knew the black press follows the lead of the white press, and that the average intelligent black had been brainwashed by the Manchurian theorist. You see, at this time, we live in a very evil world. The intelligence analysts at UNN 13 are well-trained spiritual scientists and technicians, well equipped for this mission. And we realize that the all which dwells within the all overall controls this grand event in time. As we have said in our coverage of this trial, this is a spiritual design that an allegorical message be presented to the world at this time. And John Allen Muhammad is the messenger of Allah here. Now, just what is his message, you might ask? The following, we will get to it, is a transcript of the opening statement of John Allen Muhammad. We know the deception of the mainstream media, but these words are very close. We mean real close. A few words were intentionally left out by the transcribers, but the point is still conveyed, and you'll get to that. For instance, where it reads, "When this is all over, by the grace of the law," Muhammad's words were, "by the grace of Allah." Where we see dashes or broken lines, this indicates his words were left out by the transcribers of the court or by the Washington Post. UNN 13 was the first company to request this transcript, but we were told that the fee was $1,885. The Washington Post acquired it as they have money. Eyes and ears in places we do not. We can't utter a word without Big Brother's agents knowing about it. They have copyright on this transcript. You will hear it. How can you copyright public information? Note, the following proves everything which has shown up in the trial already. We must remember that it is the burden of the Commonwealth of Virginia to prove Muhammad guilty of said crimes. If the jury would only reflect on the following words, they would, according to the evidence, let Muhammad go free. But the Commonwealth is well aware that the jury is not that intelligent. And remember, the world at large do not see this trial. They are dependent on the media to give them a fair record of the events. And we all know this will never happen. We see even the court reporter cannot stand to type the word Allah. People have got on the stand and told lies. Judge has said nothing. Now think about this, America. There are only 2 blacks in the jury box. You're now in tune. On the one, the force itself, at this time, we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. We're going to end this part of the discourse. When we come back, we're going to start reading the opening statement by John Allen Muhammad. There you can capture the mind of John Allen Muhammad and see his intent. There is something very wrong about this event. The fastest execution, the most expedient execution in America's history. You are now in tune. On the one, the force itself, the Master Blaster Jamming. Remember when the lawyer for Muhammad asked Mildred, was her actions caused by her fixing to write a book? She said, "No, I'm not fixing to write a book." But look at what she's doing now. She has become a celebrity off of her husband's death.